Today on Reservations Required, New York's latest Greek sensation, Anthos. Find out why the fabulous are flocking to this new hotspot. Plus, Ed Levine meets David Chang, a man who's taking the spotlight for his innovative take on Asian fare. And later, our tasting reveals whether or not Anthos is worth all the hype. In the heart of Midtown Manhattan, Anthos is quickly becoming a destination for diners seeking a modern take on traditional Greek cuisine. At the helm of this new restaurant are well-known restaurateur Donatella Arpaia and chef Michael Silakis.
What a fire octopus, silopita, crab.
You grew up with Greek food at home.
Yeah,
you have a big Greek family.
Big, huge, old Greek family. My big, fat Greek wedding. My mother was a housewife and a cook, and she basically took care of kids and cooked for us every day. And it was that vehicle that brought us together. It was food. It's a really huge part of my growth from young adult into manhood. And that's why I kind of fell in love with the kitchen a few years ago when I had a situation where I owned a restaurant and the chef left. And I had to jump back there and do whatever I could do to make it through service. And all of a sudden, I found myself really loving it.
Tell me about the food at Anthos. You definitely have a different spin than what we think of when we think of Greek food, right?
Greek food, yeah. Well, what we're trying to do here is we're really trying to show people that Greek food can be elevated to a haute status, and similar to what the Italians and the Spanish have done before. So most people out there have only seen Greek food in its peasant form, and we wanted to take that and follow through and try and capture the essence of Greek food, but bring it to the highest level possible.
And with Donatella Arpaia as the other visionary behind Anthos, it seems like a recipe for success.
Donatella, we're standing in the exact spot that was once your brother's restaurant, Acquapazza. How does that feel?
I'm actually happy that we did keep it in the family because it was such a spectacular space and such an incredible location, being right across from the 21 Club. So when he decided to sell, I was like, I'll buy, keep it in the family.
With a location locked, this offered the perfect opportunity for Donatella to start her second venture with Michael.
So the next step in the partnership is this restaurant called Anthos.
Anthos.
And that means
Blossom in Greek.
And tell me what you were thinking when you were thinking about the name, because naming a restaurant is really big stuff.
It's
it
extremely
really kind of
difficult.
Feels make or break.
And the more difficult part about it also is that the Greek language is so difficult to read. So a lot of words were beautiful, but everyone pronounced it differently. And it has to be user-friendly as well. And for Michael, his restaurant Onera, which meant dream, it was really taking that idea and seeing the evolution and how he's blossomed as a chef.
And for Michael, blossoming as a chef means challenging traditional views of what Greek cuisine can be.
People's perception of Greek food is the typical trattoria, and there's nothing typical about what Michael's doing to Greek food. And I thought it deserved something serious, where the design almost becomes a backdrop, where it's a very comfortable, soothing place, and you can focus on the food.
Tell me about the design. Did you work on it with a designer? Who came up with the concept?
I work on all my restaurants with the designer Matthew Sudak and the same graphic designer Louis Sullivan. We worked on David Burke and Donatella, Dona, and now Anthos. And he's great because he listens to me, but he also takes it to the next level. And I really love the whole idea of chocolate, pink, and white, so that is carried throughout the restaurant. These prints my designer found as soon as I told him the name of the restaurant. He's like, I have the perfect artist. They are cherry blossoms, and normally people do think of Asian when they think of cherry blossoms, so we're trying to look for things that are cherry blossoms that aren't necessarily Asian, and these are hand-painted prints.
The flower blossom motif continues even on the table.
Yes, well, show plates were such a significant factor at Dona, being Fornasetti, and I would try to find a show plate that was minimal but had the element of blossoms in it, and I found this plate, which I think is beautiful. It brings a splash of color into the restaurant, which I love.
Ambiance is just one part of Anthos' success. The other part is all about the food.
Now, this is something that I might have seen on the menu that I might want to order.
Wonderful lamb that I really would recommend. It's fantastic.
If I'm at home and I want to cook something that feels Greek, is there like a secret ingredient or a quick tip that you can give me?
I think, you know, Greek food really is about trying to get the best ingredients that you possibly can get out there and kind of stick with the simple Mediterranean flavor profile.
What's a simple dish that I could quickly make at home?
Well, lamb chops are simple.
They are.
They're kind of simple.
In the summer, quick on the grill.
Right onto the grill with some great olives and some great garlic and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and squeeze some lemon juice on top and you're really good to go. A salad.
I'm getting hungry.
Kind of simple.
If there was one signature dish that you think people should order when they come in here, or one that you feel particularly proud of, what do you think that would be?
Well, I mean, I love all the raw stuff that we do, but we're back here on the hot side of the stove.
Yeah, it is definitely hot. I'm getting a little tipsy.
Why don't we put together another fan favorite, which is our octopus.
Can we do that?
Very Greek.
So we have frisée, we have octopodi. You got some garlic that's pickled.
Confit.
Confit.
Confit garlic.
So you have, is that
extra virgin olive oil.
Okay, that was
some thyme,
thyme,
some savory, garlic confit, and we're gonna have olives. We're gonna crisp the octopus up a little bit, warm it through, and we're also flavoring the oil. Yeah, we roast this in the oven.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's special.
Yeah. Okay.
You see that?
You know what? There's no need to mock me or patronize me.
Not at all.
Making an effort. What's this crazy spoon?
It's well, it's easier to pour from. It's a little acidic.
It's a little bit really orangey, and then
orangey.
like the rind.
When you taste it, it has the flavor that's gonna kind of make you do that, but not make you puke, you know?
Not make
if
you puke?
spit, then it's no good.
Okay, that's the rule of thumb in this kitchen. If I spit, it's no good.
The ingredients for the grilled octopus dish strike an artful balance between savory and sweet. Oranges, green olives, and garlic confit are warmed in a pan until crispy and poured over a frisée salad.
So here we go.
Don't be afraid of olive oil. It might be one of the things that you might tell people.
Well, olive oil is probably one of the healthiest things in the whole world for you.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, you're like 65, and look at how young you look.
I know, can you imagine? Fantastic.
All right.
That's basically it. It's our octopus dish. It's all about ingredients.
It is, especially at Anthos.
Especially at Anthos.
Coming up, Ed Levine joins me for a tasting to decide whether Anthos has earned its praise. But first, Ed gets up close and personal with rising star chef David Chang and discovers why he's taking the culinary world by storm.
David Chang is at the top of his game as one of New York's biggest and brightest culinary stars. But this rebel with a cause achieved success in a rather unconventional way. Chang took his highbrow training and went on to create a sensation with a noodle bar.
So, David, this is where it all started. Momofuku Noodle Bar.
Yes, sir.
Was New York ready for a noodle bar?
It wasn't ready and we weren't ready.
But it's worked out pretty well.
It has been, but it's been a work in progress.
All right, I want to check it out. So, Dave, it's a pretty small space here.
Yes, very tight, 600 square feet, half of which is the open kitchen.
Is this set up like a noodle bar? Is this inspired by what you saw in Japan, or is this sort of a classic French kitchen or some weird amalgam?
Well, it was set up because this is what the space allowed us to, put. And if we had more money, we would have better design equipment when we opened up, but we opened up on a shoestring budget. And, it's 600 square feet with 27 seats, and most of the 600 square feet is the kitchen.
But the crowds don't seem to mind the confined space as long as they get to eat whatever Chang is serving up.
All day long, we're cooking our stock. Right now, we added the chicken leg component. Pork neck and bacon have been simmering for like 8 hours overnight.
This is really the heart of the menu here, right?
The noodle bar is sort of a name only, but this is still our bread and butter. We have a lot of cooks that want to do more than noodles too, but this is what we sell the most of, and you either love it or you hate our ramen, so.
And so this probably isn't good for vegetarians.
No, we don't do anything for vegetarians.
You seem quite proud of that.
No, I'm not proud of it. It's just like, we don't try to cater to them, I don't go to a vegetarian restaurant demanding,
steak.
Yeah, this is what we do, and we try to cater to a specific clientele.
Who've embraced it.
Yeah.
With his meat-centric and bold approach, Chang's managed to create a niche for himself that's led to a kind of cult following. In less than 3 years, Chang has gone from near obscurity to media sensation, garnering the James Beard Foundation's Rising Star Chef of the Year award.
You are genuinely uncomfortable with David Chang as a rock star chef.
Yes, that makes me laugh.
It makes you laugh. It holds no allure for you.
No, I mean, it was no intention to like get the press or the awards that we've received, and I feel very humble about the whole process, but also embarrassed about it all. And
Embarrassed why?
because I just never thought I was that guy. I was always the cook working in restaurants that was always getting in trouble, not fast enough, not making their dishes right. And next thing you know, people are like, oh, you're great and all this stuff. I was like, wow, that's the first time anyone said I'm great,
The first time anyone didn't say it, you're fired.
Yeah.
Chang is not merely a reluctant star. He, in fact, actively avoids the limelight.
We decided to make him a Best New Chef, but we felt so great about it until the moment I made the phone call. Because, I picked up the phone and I called David. I've got great news for you. You've been named Food and Wine Best New Chef. And the other end of the phone, no. I'm like, what? What happened? It's like, there are so many people who deserve this more than I do. I mean, I've worked for people who deserve this more than I do. I don't deserve this. And I, on the other end, I'm thinking, what have I done? I mean, I've changed our rules to accommodate this ramen noodle genius, and he thinks I'm crazy.
So David, Momofuku, what does that mean? It sounds like some, Pan-Asian curse word.
Yeah, so well, it means lucky peach in Japanese, so that's why we named it. And it sounds ridiculous.
And you like the idea that it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
I actually had a series of sort of young kids come into my office, and I was talking to them about what food they loved, and they kept saying Momofuku, and I'm like, I'm not sure I heard you right.
Right.
It sounded like, exactly. Could you stop that? Mumble what? So, of course, I had to go check it out. Very plain, hard seats, hard to get into, but honestly, after you have one meal at David Chang's, it's completely unforgettable.
So this noodle bar it's sort of quasi-Japanese, and it's like your...
Authentic American cuisine.
It's authentic American cuisine.
Yeah. You can't make authentic Asian food. What's that mean? What's authentic? We're not in Japan. I think for us, authentic isn't the goal, does it taste good? That's more important to us than trying to be authentic.
Momofuku's huge success afforded Chang the opportunity to follow up with a second venture called Momofuku Sambar. But here, Chang traded in noodles for another obsession, Asian-style burritos.
So how did we get from there to here?
The space sort of became available, and it was close by, and we didn't want to lose it, so.
Was your first inclination to do a bigger noodle bar?
No, everyone was like, you should do a bigger noodle bar, and we want to do something different. So what's the point of doing the same thing over and over again?
What did you start thinking about that you could put in here? Because it has a bigger kitchen, obviously.
I think that we wanted to do burritos and do fast food, so it really sounded reasonable at the time, but we had no idea how to run it. And we always had a late night menu in mind, and
so it was going to be burritos during the day and late night at night.
And then late night started outpacing the daytime fast food business.
So did it turn out that the world wasn't really looking for Korean burritos?
I must have been in another universe, because I thought that it was a genius idea, but it's still catching on.
And after a rocky start, it's catching on like wildfire. Momofuku Sambar is mobbed every night. Here, Chang loves to riff on haute cuisine and street food in a way that makes it his own. The pork buns are a fan favorite.
So pork buns, were these just inspired by the things you saw in Chinatown?
Really, I don't know how it sort of came about. It just sort of happened.
Seems like a lot of things to you just sort of happen.
So these have been steamed. They're basically white flour, steamed bread, some hoisin sauce. At night we use the pork belly. During the day we use shredded pork shoulder, little lightly salted and sugared cucumbers for some crunch and texture.
That's it?
Yeah, and we'll give one of them some coleslaw.
You're paying homage to the North Carolina barbecue sandwich.
A little bit.
I love that.
Well, that's pretty much it.
I love this.
You eat both. I've had enough pork buns in my life. I'm trying to lose weight.
Whether it's his famous pork buns or his wine-sapping Fuji apple salad, nocturnal noshers keep coming back to see what Chang will be serving up next.
Now, you might have to admit, that's not a plate of food I'm gonna get anywhere else.
I don't know. I don't really go out to eat that much, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, I do eat out a lot. And I've never seen anything like this. And it's awesome.
Whether it's a little bit of luck or a whole lot of genius, happy accidents have made Chang a culinary star despite his own ambivalence.
What's the future gonna hold?
I don't know. We want to, get Noodle Bar fixed, and I feel like it's like the neglected sibling now. Everyone's focusing all their attention on Sambar. Noodle Bar's still busy, but we want to fix it up a little bit. It deserves better. It's our little baby.
Is global domination in the...
No. No global domination. Not for right now. Right now, we're focusing on the East Village and
local domination.
Up next, Ed and I deliver our culinary verdict on Greek hotspot Anthos. Welcome back to Reservations Required and new IT restaurant Anthos. This Greek gem offers an innovative take on traditional cuisine, and I've enlisted Ed Levine to help me decide if Anthos lives up to the buzz.
What I like is that I'm seeing ingredients that I definitely recognize are Greek, but they're definitely in unusual preparations.
Yeah, and sometimes with Mike, you go, wait, is that one ingredient too many in that dish? But usually he pulls it off, and so that's what I'm intrigued by, because I think this restaurant is really like in his sweet spot. He's sort of gonna take what he's learned, and I feel like this restaurant is what he was put on this earth for.
I think I see him coming.
Oh,
Maybe we can get him to help us out.
Thanks for coming to Anthos. First time here, huh?
Yes.
First time for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
I've eaten in every restaurant you've ever owned.
Yeah, you're kind of following me around now.
It's starting to be a stalker thing, but we don't
I'm
like
like starting to stalk you.
It's okay. I mean, we love having both of you guys. It's going to be exciting for me to cook for you.
Okay, Ed, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna eat all this. So
you have to
thing?
you gotta share. Come on, we're critics. This is what we do. We have to share.
Ed ordered the pasta, filopita. Usually really small egg noodles. We make one really big one that we serve with braised rabbit and some braised snails.
For this dish, both the rabbit and snails are braised in their own natural juices. The savory reduction is then used to coat the pasta, giving it a unique flavor. Black truffles add an earthy taste, while the Minori cheese tops off the dish to balance out the rich flavors.
So where are the snails? Are you hogging the snails?
No,
Okay.
I'm giving you a snail, and you gotta have a little bit of the cheese.
Okay, and
he was smart. The way he didn't melt the cheese, which was really wise. It sort of keeps the cheese in a very clean taste.
All right, this is gonna be a big bite.
Very earthy.
Very earthy. Is that veal jus that I'm the kind of
Yes,
sticky?
that's what it tastes like to me.
Yeah, the kind of sticky, yummy, feels like something braised for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought there was going to be too much going on, but there isn't.
It feels very Italian to me, that one.
It's very earthy.
The raw meze has 5 different fish presentations, including tuna, yellowtail, Taylor Bay scallops, smoked sablefish, and cobia. Each one blends a myriad of ingredients to create its own very distinct taste. The first one was the Taylor Bay scallops, flavored with pomegranate gelée, pistachio vinaigrette, and peppermint.
I'm curious what you're gonna think about this one. I'm gonna pass it to you.
All right.
My second bite was better than my first, but I feel like the pistachio and the pomegranate I think would work, but then I'm not sure.
Really? Okay.
So you taste. Or maybe it's the the acidity.
It's a very powerful vinaigrette.
Maybe that's what it is.
You're right, there's something.
The warm, the cool, it seemed, all the things that seemed like it would work, but then maybe the vinaigrette just needs to be toned down just a notch. It's a little bracing.
It is.
But maybe it's to get you hungry for all the other little bites.
That's it, yeah.
What I'm trying to do with the raw compositions is really look at the fish as a platform or a vehicle to be able to convey a flavor profile. So the thing that's great about this is that we make them one individual bite. And as you chew through it, you're gonna see that it's going to affect you in different ways.
So this is the fennel pollen again with a macerated cherry.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That really, really works. That comes together super nicely.
That's a pile of lamb.
That is a pile of lamb, and I like it.
A pile of pork.
Moussaka.
Wow, that's cool.
That's a really good presentation. That
Yeah,
presentation
beautiful.
kind of wins.
But in the end, it's the taste that counts. And Chef Michael has some tried and true cooking techniques to make sure that every bite is full of flavor.
One of the biggest mistakes that most people make is that when you cook the food, what ends up happening is you take it right from the grill, right from the oven, and you bring it right to the plate and you cut it. And what happens is all of that juice leaks out onto the plate. So here what we'll do is we're gonna let it rest. So by letting it rest, it relaxes and all the natural juices flow back out into the perimeter of the meat, and you get a really nice, beautiful color all the way through.
For his main course, Ed ordered the pork, a combo of baby pork chops, pork belly, and lahana dolma, a braised pork shoulder with rice wrapped in a cabbage leaf. Some grilled fennel tops off the dish.
Wow.
That is so serious.
That is, wow, I didn't get any of the skin. Hold on. Before I conclude. Are you seeing as much pork on menus as I'm seeing?
Yeah.
It's like there's a pork revolution happening.
And I love it. I'm on the front lines of the pork revolution.
Belly, pork fat, pork cheek.
Yeah.
Porky.
Pork jowls.
I'm pigged out. What do you think?
It's pig heaven.
I opted for the roasted rack of lamb. Chef Michael bastes the meat in its own fat and flavors it with garlic confit, thyme, and fresh Greek oregano. It's complemented by moussaka.
Have you ever noticed that Greek food has a little bit of almost a North African flavor? I'm seeing lots of spices in this moussaka. Do you want to give it a try? It has
Look at that.
cloves and cinnamon.
It's such a cute little dish.
It's adorable. I was trying to kind of swipe one in the kitchen, and there was one of the chefs who was not happy with me at all.
A little bit of cinnamon.
Great.
That rocks.
So what's great about this is the way that it's crusted with herbs. And I mean, medium rare is the way you should be eating this, and it's perfectly done.
Chef Michael's passion for Greek food and its traditional ingredients extends to the dessert menu as well. Here, his modern spin on old classics offers up some unusual combinations with a truly whimsical flair.
What I like is, obviously this is a riff on an ingredient that you're gonna find so much in Greek cooking, sesame.
Right.
And it looks fun. It's definitely artistic. Now let's see how it tastes. Ooh, there's something soft and ice creamy in here. Ooh, look at that.
Wow.
It's oozing.
It's oozing many things.
It's, ooh.
That's like a surgical procedure.
Ooh, I might have cut, ooh, that's great.
The first baklava treatment is really cinnamony. Maybe too cinnamony.
May I?
It almost tastes like Red Hots. Remember those candies, Red Hots?
I like it.
Really?
I think it's supposed to go with the ice cream. Let's hold on.
Yeah. The ice cream, look how beautiful the ice cream is, so creamy.
Is it a cinnamon ice cream?
Yep.
I like it. It kind of wakes up my palate after a long meal, after that lamb. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to ask Michael what this is.
Well, I'm back.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
So what is the stuff oozing out of my
The
dessert?
ooze is a caramel that we flavor with metoxal. Really wonderful cordial coming out of Greece.
It's really interesting. So this is all a treatment on.
It's all about sesame, and you know, it's huge in Greece. I wanted really to try and capture the essence of Greek food.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to really look at it and say, you know, it's really about ingredients. It's ingredient-driven food.
You know, for me, it was fascinating because to watch you grow as a cook, and you don't feel compelled to throw the kitchen sink at that.
Yeah, we're not
dish.
trying to shock anymore.
Yeah.
For someone who's just starting to eat your food, what I think really spoke to me was, like you said, you want to have Greek food at an haute level, but not too haute.
The only thing that I would have asked you about was that first meze we tasted, the scallop.
The scallop.
The vinaigrette was really intense.
That's a touch of vinaigrette.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, it came out of nowhere. I was like, what's that?
The raw element allows me really to have total control of the palate.
Right.
And I think it's real interesting if you can shock it, and then all of a sudden kind of that subsides, and you get into the sweetness of the scallops, and then the pomegranate and the verjus that's kind of hidden in the gelée.
But the only thing is, I think that because the vinaigrette was so intense, we lost the sweetness of the scallop.
All right, we'll check it, man.
All right.
A 3-course dinner at Anthos with a nice bottle of wine will cost you about $100 per person.
The place rocked.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And 2 tough critics here.
I know, it's not easy.
Today on Reservations Required, experience L'Impero, a sexy and sophisticated restaurant renowned for alta cucina, the delicious and somewhat decadent cuisine of Italy's nobility. Plus, Ed Levine finds our tastemakers advancing the vegetarian menus at some posh and very trend-setting restaurants.
Pharrell Williams here.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant,
I'm Eric Ripper,
I'm Tom Colicchio.
I'm Dr. Frank Lipman, the host of On the Table,
the host of Across the Board.
Host of Artist Talk.
Host of Hooked Up.
Host of the show, Be Well Week, Be Well Weekend, on the Reserve channel.
It's only on Reserve.
Did you know that you can follow my show on social media sites like Facebook?
Follow us on Twitter.
If you're a fan of my show, hit the like button.
All of the above.
Share me with your friends.
Treat yourself. Check out a new episode of my show, Hooked Up.
And if you want to leave comments, feedbacks, ideas, whatever, love to hear from you. Leave a comment.
And if you don't want to miss the show, be sure to subscribe.
The one that's like down here, or is it here? Somewhere down here.
Thanks for watching the Reserve channel.
Only on YouTube. Throw caution to the wind and ask yourself what rules.